Okay, so this is a Moon series review. Moon series is a fun series for me. I didn't think I'd get any CP this year, but this is what helped me get CP outside of things like ICs and the small events. So, when coming into Moon series, I didn't know what to use, so people like Oliver Eskin, David Kutesh, Ragav, all people like that across the world were recommending that we use the Eveldon team. It was really good at the end of the season. Kudos to me, Kutesh and Oliver for helping make that team popular. What we did, we just threw a Z move on the Venusaur. Some of us threw a Z move from Groudon, some of us from Coco. Some of us threw Z moves anywhere besides Incineroar, Stack Attacker. But me and Oe found that Venusaur was the best Z move user because you could blast into both Ho and Primals, which are the biggest things right now. Of course, later in the season I had WPC, which I can say thank you to Kelly for because we hadn't had PCs in Ireland for ages. There I used Yveltal again because it's a really good Pokemon. It's flying type, so it can't be hit by Groudon, and it's very bulky, so if it hit Fire Punch toward you like against Kyogre, you can take the hit to the Salt Vest and very little defensive investment. Landorus was good again because of Z moves being allowed in a restricted format, so you could just Z move into Kyogre, which has very little physical defense, or into Groudon, which won't take it very nicely. Anything really that was weak to ground has fragile defense to that. Later on in the season, I flew out to France the second time in my life, which again was for a Pokemon tournament. Instead of going to the west coast, I went to the southeastern coast in Cannes, and I used the good old Tornioga team, but with Z Psych-Up Kyogre, courtesy of Benjamin Tan, I think some people call him. And the point of the team was to get your own Xerneas, another Xerneas set up, or anything set up on the field, and you would Z Psych-Up it to get 4 HP and all their stat boosts. It's really fun to pull it off, but sadly it's not that good all the time, and they can just hate you or be faster than you and get like a bitch. The second day of that tournament, on the Sunday in the MSS and the PC, I used David Kutesh's Ho-Oh Kyogre team, which had a physical Raichu, and it was double Z move. I had the option to be Sacred Calls on either Z move users, and the point of it was to set up Z Tailwind or use Z Brave Bird to get ahead of your opponent with speed or offense. Raichu was faster than pretty much anything. You could nuzzle things because they're faster off the Geomancer, you could fake out. You could knock off, it was max attack knockoff, so you could knock out Lunalas if they had an item or a low HP. You had Ferrothorn and Amoonguss, either of them work, they both did really well, and I fell in love with this team, and that's what I used for most of the season. And about a month later, a couple of weeks ago for recording this, I used Alan Martinez's Greensboro and I believe some California regional team. It had Weavile, which I really liked, and had a physical Coco, which was something that had never been simmed before. Rest is standard Ho-Oh Kyogre stuff, which Ho-Oh Kyogre got Toxicroak because it takes advantage of Kyogre and it's just a good fake user. And Amoonguss for the Trick Room matchup and Spore. So when I was building teams, I wanted to try as many teams as possible. Like, I think having a CP, I play for the fun mostly now. Seniors with seniors, I got worlds. I try and get worlds, but just haven't played the game. But with the introduction of Z moves, a lot of Pokemon getting credibility got better, i.e. Landorus as before. Not Primals, restricted Pokemon could be much stronger and do a lot more. So, in thinking that, I thought, what's the bulkiest type in theory against all the common restrictors? And I found it to be most flying types. Like Ho-Oh was fire type, flying type, so it could take hits and Groudon. It was very good against Xerneas, it had a high special defense stat, and it resists Fairy. And it could also take advantage of Groudon's drop and return and use Sacred Fire to get burns, get super damage, big damage in general. And then Yveltal was a flying type that got Snarl and Foul Play and had its own aura, so it could hit anything on the attacking spectrum, whether you want to nerf a special attacker or just take advantage of people throwing in physical attackers willy-nilly. Of course, another strong typing that season, and still is Steel types because of Xerneas and the Tapus. So I used Kartana, of course, a lot in that season. Kartana wasn't able to OHKO Xerneas, but it could take a lot of hits with Assault Vest. However, it could deal a lot of damage to Kyogre and Groudon with Leaf Blade, especially getting an OHKO on a Kyogre, and could put Groudon down to its berry, or if you got lucky crit, you could possibly KO it. And of course, saying that you can knock out Xerneas, the combination of Knock Off and Start Strike being bulky and faster, even after Geomancy, because you're bulky you take hits, you can knock off their Power Herb the turn before, and then Smart Strike, of course, even if it's not sequenced correctly, you can still Smart Strike, and get the knockout as long as you're not double targeted. And the best Steel type in my opinion, which I used a lot of last season, is Stack Attacker, because it's super bulky, it can deal a lot of damage in and out of Trick Room, but of course you have Water Spout and Origin Pulse and Crystal Blade stopping you, but with the help of Wide Guard, you can stop that. Of course, Dancing Gleam was hitting strong with a boost, Geomancy boost, so you can help your allies as well. And of course, saying about Stack Attacker, you had Trick Room and Tailwind, so I could constantly control my own speed and my own Trick Room and Tailwind, and also stopping my opponent's Trick Room and Tailwind with my own Trick Room and Tailwind. Icy Wind was a good option on Tapu Fini most of the time, because it could deal damage effective against things like weak to ice, or say Salamence, but hasn't come around to Ultra, and it's just getting rid of their speed, so if you're against Xerneas you can Icy Wind Snarl in one turn, gone. And of course, Moongus and Ferrothorn could abuse Trick Room very easily. So of course, another way of stopping that was with Fake Out, Taunt, Intimidate. All those moves, we've did that, besides Intimidate, but you could switch it out into a Landorus or a Incineroar or whatever to help cycle U-turn on pretty much everything, cycle the Intimidates and Fake Outs. Dry Skin, if you U-turn into a Dry Skin on your own or opposing Kyogre, you're getting your health back, and you're dealing a Fake Out or a Low Kick or a Sucker Punch or whatever. So, the tournament runs, of course, everyone loves to hear about all your tournaments. In Dublin, as I said, I used the XY team. I played 2-1. I came second. First round was against Matty Morgan. It was a double loss. I didn't expect much against Matty. He was using a common PC team, which was Duskmane, Kyogre, and it just ran through me. So, second round, I faced Xerneas vs Kyogre, common team, but I went through that. And then the third round, I had an opponent who got a bye and lost the last 2 rounds. So we were both 1-1, and he was just someone who turned up to make numbers. However, it was an anti-Xerneas in-game team, so it was roughly EV'd, and mostly Steel types and stuff like that could take hits in Xerneas. And it was a double win. There was no finals or anything, it was just straight cut. You got your CP, we went home. It was good for my first PC ever outside of the tournament. I got to fly over to Ireland, which was fun, and I got to meet some new and old friends. And then later in the year, about a month later actually, I went to Cannes, as I said, and that wasn't the best tournament for me because I used a team which I thought would be good, but then I realised Benjamin's hand had released online and everyone knew how to use it and how to counter it. So if I wasn't getting beaten by something that countered it, I was facing against it, and the very match was horrible. So then, later in the year, I pulled myself back last month. I realised I did a day wrong, but I should be doing the third. So, it's a double MSS, quadruple if you include the PCs, something that we're very grateful to have here in the UK. I think Matthew King, or the guy up in Manchester, did it first, but overall, we're very grateful for them. On the Saturday, I went 2-3, which is very boring, because I mispredicted how long I had left in Tailwind, and I used Recover instead of Brave Bird. That was horrible. On Sunday, however, I went 3-1, went top 4, which is a solid 32 CP, if I'm correct. Which is very good. That's like the most CP I've earned in a tournament this year, which has got my hopes up for Berlin. And then, of course, I finished 4th. On day 1, I faced Kyogre and Nana. It was a very cool version with a Meowstic, where you would yawn ally switch, so that your opponent was constantly asleep. I figured it out within the first turn when you used yawn and ally switch in 2 turns. I was paired down to juniors, so did have a hissy fit. Game 2, so I instantly won. Round 2, I based, which I believe was learned on Stack Attacker. I didn't take down too many notes of this because I forgot to, because I was a bit like, oh wow, I'm 1-0 in a tournament for once. I say for once, ever since Can, I thought I'd do trash. But yeah, that was kind of a hard matchup, but I managed to pull it through with a burn on his Stack Attacker game 2. Round 3, I faced Zerndog Volcarona, which is a horrible matchup for me if I don't catch him correctly. That was lose win lose. Going to round 4, I was like, right, I gotta pull myself through. I then played against Ethan French, a very, very good player. Like, I give my courtesies to him. He is what made me want to pull through. He's still playing in Masters. I played him in Seniors when he first started, and I was like, you good. But yeah, I beat him in Seniors, which is actually what pushed me to cut at Birmingham Regionals, which we won't talk about because no one likes Birmingham Regionals. Of course, I went win-lose-lose against him. Trick Room hard counts my team. You get rid of Mungus. And then the next round, I faced Duskmane Koga. That was a game where I had to recover after a Brave Bird, but I restricted my Tailwind turns, and I fired 2 more rather than 1 more, so he did protect my last turn Tailwind. And then Psychic for game. Of course, turn before that, he actually got the drop and Psychic Special Defense. If he hadn't dropped his defense, I could have recovered and still won. But I then went to PC, and I don't talk about that because I just used it to you and thought it would be funny. I bragged about it and everyone knew what I was using. Then later, on the Sunday, I used the same team, just with Timid Kyogre instead, which is why I write about in this. Round 1, I faced Zerndog Volcarona again. Again, a loss. It was against William Tansley, so it's loss. I didn't bring Ho-Oh because I was scared of its Stack Attacker. But he said if I brought Ho-Oh, he couldn't beat me, because even if Stack Attacker had Rock Slide, I could easily got rid of it, which I'm kind of annoyed. But then round 2, I got a bye, so I could rest up, think about what I could face, what I have faced. Round 3, I got to play against another 1-1 player. He was playing Ray Sogaleo, which is Ryoga. You can't use that. Rayquaza, Sogaleo, and that was a really fun team that had Autoimmune Z Rayquaza, so you could Z-move in the rain. It wouldn't do as boosted damage because of how Rayquaza works, but it could catch out a lot of things like Groudon and all that if they haven't got Sun Up. And if they haven't got Sun Up because it denies the boost or the drop. Anyway, so round 4 I faced Scott Savante, who I knew I had beaten before. I've never lost to Scott Savante. I'm not even in the best of 3. I've never dropped a game to him, it was a round to him. So he was using his classic Tornioga, and I was like, okay, it's kind of an iffy matchup, Tornioga. So I went into it, and game 1, I got a clean win, knockout after knockout after knockout. Game 2, he forfeited in a situation where he could have won if he read me correctly, but it was a Ho-Oh versus, I think it was like a Tornadus, or a Xerneas, and a Kartana, and literally he couldn't touch me, like it was a knockoff because I had a Z move. So I went to top cut this 4th seed, beating my roommate Bartosz, which I thought really bad, but he did get paired down and he got the junior. So yeah, we take those. So that's guaranteed 32 CP. And in top 4, I faced Ethan French again, and he was running even bulkier version of the Trick Room team. And it came down to game 2. Game 1, I didn't Sucker Punch because I thought that I'd outspeed something, and then game 2, I predicted a Rage Powder Protect, so I ended up double attacking into Lunala. Get rid of Lunala, but just leave Mungus there. Anyway, onto the team. So in Dublin, I used Landorus. If I just grab calcs real quick. Actually, I don't have calcs for Dublin. But in Dublin, I did use. Yes, so here we go, calcs up. So in the Landorus was a generic Landorus with a bit of bulk. A -1 Tectonic Rage could Cone Incineroar. Swords Dance with you +1 against everything. Rock Slide is just coverage for like ice types and other flying types. And what else can I say about Alandorus? And then Weavile, if we look at that, was made by Alan Martinez. It has no calc, so it's a Sash 252, 2524, but it was built to outspeed and possibly knock out Lunalas and just get rid of all items. Oops. So if we come into the Tapus, the Tapu Fini was made to live a +2 Moonblast and could haze if I had haze, but I chose not to run haze later on just for doubling. I had Icy Wind for the speed drop, Light Screen so you guaranteed to take more Xerneas hits, Nature has Heal Pulse just so you can like stop things like Koga and all that. And the speed outsped all max speed non-scarf Hoenn restricted, so all pretty much every Koga and Groudon that weren't scarfed. And then in Orpington, the Tapu Koko with Choice Band, a -1 Wild Charge with a guaranteed 2-hit KO in Electric Terrain on Incineroar, and a Choice Band Brave Bird neutral with an Oko on Moongus, which was fun because usually Moongus is a threat once your terrain goes down. So if you can catch it with the Brave Bird, that's really cool. Quick Attack was good for quick late game knockouts or early game knockouts, or to proc your own berry if you're bulky enough to take it. In practice, I have Quick Attack to my side into a Ghost type when I had a Ghost type on the team. I also Quick Attack to the side trying to proc a berry and accidentally knocked out. But moving on, we have the Amoonguss. In Dublin, the Amoonguss was just a simple bulky set with 36 special attack. It was built to guarantee an Oko on all versions of Kartana with Power Fire. Clear Smog just helped with like Xerneas and other fairy types, gave you get rid of stats or getting quick knockouts or chip damage. Warm Rage Powder is what you expect on Amoonguss these days. It could take hits from a Incineroar, as well as guaranteed 2KO with Flare Blitz. And the 4 in speed made it so that you're faster than Amoonguss, except from in Trick Room. However, moving on to Orpington, I used slightly slower, slightly less bulky Amoonguss, but I ran 4 special attack to hit my Wiki Berry, and also had a little bit more damage on Grass Knot and Clear Smog when going into Pokemon Weak to it. That helped quite a lot. If we just come over to my calcs, the one in Orpington was a 3-hit KO from max HP Water Spell, and was also a 6.6% chance to 2-hit KO from Xerneas, which is very good because you can take a hit, Clear Smog, boom, or take a hit, Grass Knot, obviously take another hit, Grass Knot again, get knockout. So if we just move across to our Fake Out players, in Orpington, we'll start Orpington this time, it's up on the screen. I had Toxicroak, which is just a common Assault Vest Toxicroak with Poison Jab instead of Gun Shot, Low Kick, Fake Out, and Sucker Punch. Some had Cross Chop, with a high chance to crit. I know in Lille, it had a lot of regionals. David Kutesh, Oliver Eskelin, and James Evans, an American player, used a version with Expert Belt Cross Chop, so you're going anything weak to fighting. It was amazing if you hit. And of course, Sucker Punch is just priority for late game chip, as well as getting Lunalas with this and not expecting Sucker Punch, which they should be. The Thunder is a 2 is a very little chance to avoid KO from a Koga with Assault Vest with this investment, and there's nothing else to say about Toxicroak because it's so common these days, everyone knows what it does. Xerneas is like a 2-hit KO. plus the neutral +2. I think you're always dying. Actually, I think a +2 you have like a chance to live, but it's a very, very low chance. And Incineroar, the Incineroar spread is again the classic 2-3-6 spread. The Snarls just to get rid of special attack boosts or to drop into attack. It's like a 40% chance for Xerneas to OHKO you, which is good because it's technically saying, oh yeah, it's a 2-hit KO. It's a 60% chance to 2-hit KO it. So I don't know why cat players do that. I just do the math, but I'm bad at math. U-turn is literally only other move you use other than Snarl and Fake Out because you're just looping. Flare Blitz is safe if you do chip damage, or like, oh, it's a Kartana instead. And moving on to our restricteds, the Yveltal is pretty much max bulk, max speed, so that you can always take advantage of the field. You're not taking much from a Kyogre or Xerneas or Coco, Gigabolt, Havoc, anything. It's timid, so that Snarl and Oblivion do as much as possible, and you got Sucker Punch to do chip damage and late game knockouts. Foul Play doesn't really need that much investment in attack because it's relying on opponent's attack, and it's really good for punishing physical attackers. The Calculate, maximum attack, timid, Coco, Gigabolt, Havoc in terrain is a 2-hit KO, which is really good calc for people who are actually ballsy enough to run non-Scarf or non-AB Coco. And the Foul Play could OHKO a Solgaleo if need be, if it neutral and a +1. And of course we have Xerneas, which was just regular Xerneas. There's not much to say about it. I use Dapping Gleam as a substitute because I believe you need spread damage even if Wide Guard is a thing. If you go with a Wide Guard user, or you don't have to have Wide Guard, or they just don't have Wide Guard in general, you can just use this to be like, okay, I can get double knockout. But in practice, in Ultra, not this, but in Ultra Team, Dazzling Gleam does sometimes fail you because how spread damage works. I measured the calculation and got knocked out then after. But moving on to the Orpington team, of course I used Ho-Oh. It's a very bulky Ho-Oh, a little bit in attack, and what it did was take a lot of hit. Oh, okay. It could take a lot of hits. A Moonblast was always a 3-hit KO. An Origin Pulse in Rain was a 2-hit KO. So if your opponent was forced to Origin Pulse because how little Water Spout's doing, say you Z Brave Bird them to like 10% HP because you're not always no co. There's Water Spout, and that's Origin Pulse. It's like, well, you're not doing much. But the speed allows you to outspeed Ludicolo by 1 point outside of rain, so it's speed creep to speed creep, which is fun. And the attack just makes it so Zeev Brave Bird is doing a lot to everything. A Sacred Fire does a lot to anything that's weak to fire, which is most of the things that are still weak to flying. Yeah, but the Kyogre originally was a modest Kyogre, but I didn't like that, so I made it a full defense instead of 4 HP because your defense is lower. I like having an odd number of HP because I think like Super Fang and that will leave you more HP than you need. Max attack, max speed, Scarf of Timid, make sure you outspeed other Timid Scarf Kyogre, so you're reducing your output, but you can Thunder and stop their Origin Pulse, and if you're lucky you can Thunder paralyze them, so their Thunder isn't hitting, or they're slower than your rest of the team for the rest of the game. The usual Water Spout Origin Pulse, and it has Ice Beam instead of Scald, because Landorus is really big, and some Landorus are built to take a Scald. But that's it for the team. So if we come on to the playstyles, especially for Ho-Oh, which is what I prefer as a team, because I used it in a bigger tournament of course, the different leads that you can consider, I only use 3 of them, which is Weavile plus X, Ho-Oh plus X, Kyogre plus X. All 3 of them can integrate, so you have Weavile Ho-Oh, Weavile Kyogre, Kyogre Ho-Oh, but mostly it was those, because Weavile could fake out, get big damage for your partner, Ho-Oh could set up Tailwind, big damage your partner, Kyogre could do big damage, and the other thing is like set up or do even more damage. But in most matchups, you need Toxicroak in order to loop the fake out and counter rain. It also helped if you led with Kyogre, because it'll make it a much easier switch in, or say they had Groudon out, you know you could switch in with a double switch to get the Toxicroak and Kyogre in, so you're not taking damage from the sun. You nearly always bought both of your restricteds, because it's how the game works. Because Groudon was popular, and they hit different restricteds, so not one can do both jobs. In saying that, you had to get as much damage off as quick as possible. So you used Fake Out of Weavile to then get big damage to your partner. You could Supersonic Sky Strike to pick up KOs or do a lot of damage quickly. And if you needed to, like in the late game, it's like, oh, they're on low HP anyway, use the Tailwind to make sure you get a crit, so if like a -1,